Do you ever feel like your mind goes completely blank when someone asks you a simple question about your day? You know the vocabulary and you know the grammar, but when it's time to speak, the words just get stuck? You aren't alone. The problem isn't that you don't know English. The problem is that you are still translating from your native language instead of thinking directly in English. In this session, we are going to fix that. We're going to simulate a real, natural conversation about your life. By the end of this video, you won't just be answering questions, you'll be speaking with flow and confidence. Let's dive in. Part 2. Introduction and Methodology. Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to master the art of small talk. I have designed a special speaking drill for you that focuses entirely on your daily habits. Now, if you search on YouTube, you might find a standard daily routine in English for beginners video, where you just listen and repeat. But today, we are going to do something more active. This is an interactive workshop. Here's how it works. I'm going to ask you a question. First, I'll give you a short, natural answer, the kind you use in quick text messages or casual chat. Then, I'll give you a longer, more detailed answer using native expressions and better sentence structures. After that, it's your turn. I won't just leave you in silence. I want you to speak out loud immediately. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on your rhythm. Part 3. The morning routine. Let's start with the basics. Question 1. What time do you usually wake up? Short answer. I usually wake up around 7. Detailed answer. I usually wake up around 7 in the morning on workdays. I try to get up right after my alarm rings because if I stay in bed, I get lazy. However, on weekends, I let myself sleep a little longer to catch up on rest. Your turn. Now, I want you to tell me, what time do you wake up? Do you use an alarm or do you wake up naturally? Go ahead, say it out loud. Excellent. Remember, you can use around when you aren't sure of the exact minute. Question 2. What's the first thing you do after you wake up? Short answer. I drink a glass of water. Detailed answer. The very first thing I do is drink a large glass of water and do some light stretching. It really helps me feel fresh and wakes up my brain. Sometimes I'm tempted to check my phone immediately, but I try to avoid social media for at least the first 20 minutes of the day. Your turn. What about you? Do you reach for your phone or do you head straight to the bathroom? Tell me your first move of the day.
Great! Using phrases like "the first thing I do is" a great way to structure your sentence. Question 3. Do you usually eat breakfast? Short answer. Yes, I always eat breakfast. Detailed answer. I absolutely have to eat breakfast. I can't start my day without it. Usually I keep it simple with some eggs and toast. And of course, I also like to have a strong cup of coffee to get my energy levels up. Your turn. Be honest with me. Are you a breakfast person? What is on your plate in the morning? Tell me now. Perfect. If you don't eat, you can simply say, I usually skip breakfast. Part 4. The commute and work. Now let's move out of the house. This is what we call English-speaking practice for the real world, talking about moving around the city. Question 4. What time do you usually leave home? Short answer, I usually leave around 8:30. Detailed answer, I usually step out of the house around 8:30. My commute isn't too bad, but I like to leave a buffer of time just in case there is traffic or delays. I prefer being early rather than rushing and feeling stressed. Your turn. Check your mental schedule. When do you grab your keys and leave? Say it confidently. Good job. Step out of the house is a very natural phrasal verb you can use here. Question 5. How do you get to work or school? Short answer, I go by bus or sometimes by train. Detailed answer, I usually take the bus to work. It's not the fastest way to travel, but I actually enjoy it because I can look out the window and gather my thoughts. It takes about 20 minutes, which isn't too long. Your turn. How is your commute? Do you drive, walk, or take public transport? Explain it to me. Right. If you walk, remember to say, I go on foot, or simply, I walk. Question 6. What time do you usually start work or school? Short answer, I start at 9. Detailed answer, I usually start work sharply at 9 in the morning. I actually like to arrive about 10 minutes early. This gives me time to organize my desk, check my schedule, and grab a coffee before the real work begins. Your turn. When does your shift or class begin? Are you an early arrival or just on time? Speak up. Well done. Sharply is a great word to emphasize that you are punctual. Question 7. What do you usually do in the morning? Short answer, I check my emails and plan my day. Detailed answer, my mornings are usually quite busy. I start by checking my inbox and answering urgent messages. I also make a to-do list of what I need to accomplish. I find that listing my tasks helps me stay focused and productive throughout the day. Your turn. Visualize your morning. Are you in meetings? Are you studying? Describe your main activity. Excellent. Accomplish is a strong verb to use instead of just do. Part 5. Lunch and afternoon. Question 8. What do you usually have for lunch? Short answer, I usually eat a salad or a sandwich. Detailed answer, for lunch, I prefer something light so I don't feel sleepy afterward. I often eat a salad, some soup, or a sandwich. I try to bring food from home, but sometimes I'll go out to a nearby cafe if I didn't have time to cook. Your turn. What's on the menu for you? Do you crave fast food or something healthy? Let me hear it.
Nice. Remember, we usually say have lunch, not take lunch. Question 9. What do you usually do in the afternoon? Short answer, I keep working until around 4. Detailed answer, in the afternoon I continue with my projects or studies. I try to tackle the harder tasks after lunch. Sometimes, around 3 p.m., I take a short break to stretch my legs or grab a snack to keep my momentum going. Your turn. How do you push through the afternoon slump? Do you keep working hard? Tell me about your afternoon flow. Great! Tackle a task means to deal with a difficult job energetically. Part 6. Evening and relaxation. Question 10. What time do you finish work or school? Short answer, I finish around 5. Detailed answer, I usually wrap up my work around 5 o'clock. Sometimes I stay a little longer if I have extra deadlines to meet, but I try to leave on time so I can enjoy my evening. Your turn. When do you clock out? When are you free? Say the time out loud. Wrap up is a fantastic phrasal verb meaning to finish something. Question 11. How do you relax after work? Short answer, I watch a TV show. Detailed answer, once I'm home, I need to decompress. I usually change into comfortable clothes, maybe make a cup of tea, and watch an episode of my favorite TV show. It helps me switch off my brain from work mode. Your turn. What is your chill-out routine? TV, music, or maybe a nap? Tell me how you unwind. Unwind is the perfect vocabulary word for relaxation. Question 12. What time do you usually have dinner? Short answer, I eat around 7:30. Detailed answer, I usually sit down for dinner around 7:30 in the evening. I prefer eating a bit later so I don't feel rushed. I enjoy eating slowly and catching up with my family or reflecting on the day. Your turn. Are you an early eater or a late snacker? When is dinner time for you? Good. Catching up means talking to someone you haven't spoken to in a while, even if it's just since the morning. Question 13. What do you usually do in the evening? Short answer, I read or watch something online. Detailed answer, my evenings are for quiet time. I might read a few chapters of a book, browse YouTube for interesting videos, or listen to a podcast. I try to avoid heavy work late at night so I can sleep better. Your turn. How do you end your day? Do you scroll social media or read? Share your evening habit. Fantastic. Question 14. Do you exercise during the week? Short answer, yeah, I go for a run twice a week. Detailed answer, I try to stay active. I aim to exercise at least twice a week. Sometimes I go for a short run in the park, or I might do a quick workout at home. It's hard to find the time, but it always makes me feel better physically and mentally. Your turn. Is fitness part of your weekly routine? What do you do to stay moving? Brilliant! Part 7. Conclusion. You did an amazing job today. Speaking about daily routines is the foundation of fluency because these are the conversations you will have the most often with new friends or colleagues. I recommend you listen to this video again, but next time, try to change your answers. If you said you take the bus today, pretend you drive a car tomorrow. This flexibility will make your English unbreakable. If you found this practice helpful and want to glow up your English skills, please hit that like button. It really helps the video reach more learners like you. And don't forget to subscribe to English Glow for more immersive speaking sessions. I'll see you in the next practice. Keep shining.